Barnes & Noble have produced a leatherbound edition of Sir Richard Burton's The Arabian Nights, or rather the translation by Sir Richard Burton. It's a beautiful edition, just like all the other Barnes & Noble's leatherbound editions. The colours on the spine are breathtaking. The leather itself is a royal blue with a lapis lazuli kind of turquoise blue, gold and very dark red, with a few white spots there. The design is really intricate and kind of Sufi, I guess, as an inspiration. Let me show you the front of the book, which is it's just marvelous. I'll get over to my desk and show you a little bit of a close-up. The design, this floral design, is very beautiful, very carefully printed, and the print is actually not just printed directly onto the book like with some of the other Barnes & Noble's leatherbound editions. Here it's actually embossed as well. Let me try and get a good picture there for you. There we go. So you can actually see, if I make a little bit of shade there, you can see how beautifully embossed that is, all the way. And this font, which I guess is imitating Sanskrit, I suppose, maybe. So yeah, very beautiful. And then you have the back, which is equally beautiful. The embossing is slightly shallower, but nevertheless embossed all the way. Again, here you can see it's not just a copy and paste, it is not quite symmetrical, which makes it all the more beautiful, to be honest. There was one reviewer that I saw on YouTube who was saying that the paint was coming off on her fingers, but that's really... try and get that's really not the case here. It may have been a different printing that particular reviewer was talking about. This is the 2016 edition. So on the inside, yes, once again you have this lovely tessellation. And then you have the big surprise, which of course is that this book is in colour. And while not every page is coloured, there is actually colour on every page, since you can see that, for example, the header is in kind of a dark red, and then all the way down the right hand side you've got these kind of grey blue patterns. So it really does make for a slightly more colourful experience. But then I'm going to show you the illustrations in a moment, and you'll see that they're very beautiful as well. Just first of all, just want to show you the contents: the tale of Scheherazade, the tale of the trader with the genie, the tale of the fisherman and the genie, the barber's tale of himself, the sleeper and the waker, Sinbad the sailor, the tale of Prince Saif al-Muluk, don't know that one, the tale of the tailor, the tale of Zain al-Asnam and the Sultan of the Genie, Khudadad and his brothers, Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp, the adventures of Harun al-Rashid, Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, Al-Khwaja and the Merchant of Baghdad, Prince Ahmad and the fairy Peri Banu, the two sisters who were jealous of their younger sister, the history of the Prince Amjad and Prince Asad, Julna, the Seaborn, the rogueries of Dahlia the Crafty, the tale of Ali ban Bakar and the Shams al-Nahar, and the tale of Scheherazade concluded. So yeah, a little over, well, 733 pages. I guess it goes a little bit further than that since let's see exactly how many pages we have. And we have 741 pages. So while we're at the back of the book here, I'll just show you the note about the artists. There are two artists throughout the book, slightly different styles, Renee Bull and Alfred W. Cooper. I'll be honest with you, I don't know which one's which, but they are quite different in their style, but they complement each other perfectly well. Here's one example of one of those two artists. I wish I knew which one was which. There are some black and white images. I guess this is by the same. Possibly the same. Maybe not necessarily. But they. Let me show you the very distinct image by the second illustrator. Is much more cartoony, but very colourful, very beautiful. There's one. Here's another. Yeah, pretty gruesome. I mean, if you're thinking about buying these for your children, I think it's generally agreed that not all translations of the Arabian Nights are children material. This one being Sir Richard Burton's translation. I think at the time it was accused of being just overly sexualized and quite grim in terms of its the amount of gore that's involved. So yeah, not necessarily a children's edition, but I think that the Everyman Children's Library has got a really nice version for children. I would check on that because I haven't got it myself, but I do understand that it's a much more child friendly version. So yeah, so I'm showing you a few of those illustrations. Let me show you also some of the opening pages of each of those tales. You've got this really beautiful coloured motif, and then you've got the lovely head letter. There we are. So yeah, so it's just a really beautiful, colourful experience. There we go. In terms of the pages themselves, they're the usual off-white, creamy colour, and that pretty much concludes my review of the Arabian Nights. Actually, there is one more thing. Is the ribbon, which is kind of a it's, I guess you could, yeah, it's a bronze colour. It's maybe a little bit more yellow than is appearing on the screen right now. Let me see if I can get a more representative angle here. Yeah, it's not quite as brown as what I'm seeing on my screen. I guess it's a little bit more, a little bit more on the gold side. But yeah, anyway, you get the general idea, and that is that. The Arabian Nights, translated by Sir Richard Burton. Once again, a beautiful addition to the bookcase.